Hey, what's up? This is Dilio, and these are five things that I learned from going to the Namm Show in 2023. Now that the dust has settled and everything has settled down and the excitement has calmed down, um, I was able to kind of come up with some thoughts, and I wanted to talk about my experience. If you haven't seen it, there was a previous video of me doing a whole vlog of my experience. I caught a few things, but it wasn't really too much to see, in my opinion. But before I get into that, I want to talk about my experiences just trying to get to the show in the first place. So, for many years, I've known about the show and I failed many, many times. And a lot of it had to do with my circumstances, not being able to save the money to go, getting away from work, just the resources, the flight, the room and board situation. I felt many times and was upset about this. This was going on before the pandemic hit. And I finally said, like about a year ago, I was like, I'm not going to miss the next one. I keep missing these things. And by the time it's coming up and people are talking about it to me directly or checking to see if I'm even going, it's like too late to get ready. It's too late to get ready. It's exclusive, so you can't just go register a ticket. But what I've seen now, you can just register yourself a ticket. But I failed many times ago, so to finally actually make it to that event was great. My life is a lot different now. Things have changed now versus back then. So let's go ahead and talk about my experience. So the Namm Show 2023 was in Anaheim, California, at a convention center, and there was a lot of people there, which was cool. A lot of exhibitors, and I'm thinking, oh man, I gotta need a bunch of days. I think the multiple days applies if you want to check out specific events or presentations there. But as far as the exhibition floor, you can see the whole thing in a day. I sort of overplanned, but it worked out in my favor because I was able to spend some quality time with some family. But as far as the exhibits go, I mean, you can see them all in one day. You don't have to really be there from Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But sometimes I want to feel like I'm ready to get the whole experience, the whole thing. So I'm going to NAMM, so I want to be able to be there for days. And when I first got there, I did see exhibits, but I'm checking the app, and I'm like, well, where's my favorite brands? Where's Akai? Where's Roland? Okay, I see Yamaha there. Where's Korg? And Native Instruments. Even though I don't really use the machine anymore. They still make good instruments as far as plugins is concerned. They got sounds, I can't take that away from them. But I just wanted to see them, maybe see something new on the horizon. But those brands, my personal favorite brands, were not there. Now there's areas, there's like a bunch of drums, musical instruments, pro audio systems, which I am into in a certain way because of what I do for the day gig. But for the most part, I didn't really see the brands that I wanted to see there. So I learned that my favorite brands like Akai, and I heard Akai was there, but I didn't find them. But then again, I was kind of over it and done, so I didn't really look really hard. But I mean, if I wanted to be able to at least pull them up on the app and find them, and I couldn't do that. So I could not find the brands I wanted. A lot of them were not there. And then on top of that, just listening to other people talk about it and utterances about it being better than in the pandemic or better before pandemic hit, I was like, dang, okay, I guess I'm just getting a shadow of what it used to be. And, things changed, but it still, to me, was a very successful event. A lot of people were there. And that's the second thing I learned is that my favorite brands of music equipment will not always be there, but I do have to give a shout out to Analog Cases. I'm definitely going to do some videos with their content because I got two of their cases and I want to talk to you about them, to show them to you. I think it would be a good thing to add to your rig. The third thing I learned is that more people recognize me than I expected, and that was YouTubers. I was really surprised that YouTubers saw who I am or knew who I was. Even like big time producers who got big records, they know who I was. And it's just surprising because as a content creator, being on here as long as I have, and to be told I was a legend, that was very humbling. I think, but to be on this platform as long as I have, You know, I got a large subscriber count, but as you look at my videos don't really get too many views. And sometimes, honestly, it feels like I'm making content in front of a brick wall. Like I'm just here making this content, banging out these beats, banging out remakes, tutorials, reviews. And, you know, after years of doing that, it just feels like, okay, I'm doing this content. It's not getting the same reach I see other YouTubers get. And you're like, well, and then at the same time, I had a lot of trouble with my YouTube channel. It's been hacked. I lost it. I got it back. There's a lot of unexplained things going on in the hood with this platform. And I'll try not to go too much into it because it just bothers me because there's always this algorithm thing going on. You got a bunch of different ideas about, oh, make this content, make that content, do this, buy that. All right. But the fact to know that there are people watching is great, and to be acknowledged for that by people in person is great. And like I said, and it just lets you know that there are people behind this screen. You know, I'm talking to a real person, but when all you see is the text and the screen, you feel like you're just talking to text and the screen. But to know that you were there watching is awesome, and I want to focus more on that. And just to remember that there are actually people who actually watch these videos. Now, they may not always comment. You know, there's a lot of people that I saw that know who I was that I didn't know. I didn't really see them comment. Now, that could be two things. They could have commented and the platform not show me it. I'm usually pretty good about watching my comments. But on the other hand, there's stuff I don't see. And so these platforms, and I'm going to say this last point about that and move on to the fourth thing I learned. I mean, these platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they work these algorithms. They obviously work it for their favor, and at the cost of the user experience or the content creator experience. And the algorithm doesn't always work in your favor, especially for people like me who's been on this platform for a long time. And so I'm trying to find other ways to work with that. But it's a challenging platform to be on. And if you're just getting on it, that's good. But I've been on here for a long time, and it's been a challenge. You know, my life didn't change because I put content. Then again, I can't say that because the story's not over. All right, that's enough talk about that. Number 4, amazing place to network. It's definitely an amazing place to to network. And meeting the people I met was really cool. Just seeing some people who I've seen on the internet for a long time in person was really cool. It was almost kind of no-brainer because I saw a lot of content creators from Atlanta, and I'm like, wow, we haven't really linked up. And I think the reason of that is sometimes it's hard to cut through the noise. If you don't know me personally, I don't know you personally, you may or may not email me and see it, or you may DM me or comment, I may or may not see it. And you know, it's weird because there are actually real people. You're looking at a real person on the screen, but there's still that internet. How do I put it? There's a disconnect that you get from just watching a person and just dealing with text versus you actually being in the room, seeing what they can do. Yeah, you've seen what I can do on here, but you're not in the room with me. You don't even know what my energy is like in person. You get an idea of who I am and how I'm like here, but you don't really get the full thing. But again, just finally meeting people in person sort of like connects a lot of the missing dots that is being a content creator. If I do it again, and here's number 5, if I do it again, I will plan for a day, but not multiple. It's cool to try and position yourself to catch that celebrity that comes in, to be around them, but I don't think you should leverage your whole trip around that hope. I think one day at Namm is enough unless you want to see multiple presentations. But as far as the show floor is concerned and the exhibits, I think one day is enough, especially if you know who you want to go see. If you're in control of your own destiny with that, as far as getting back and forth, the hotel and all that stuff. And I think it's cool. I think it was cool. Do I wish that my favorite brands were there? Of course. You know, I wish that a Behringer was there, but Behringer stopped being at that show a long time ago. Yamaha was there, but they more or less showed off their, you know, their grand pianos and stuff like that, not like their montage or groove boxes. I don't even know if they got any like a groove box out now or anything like that. But maybe see Roland there would have been cool with their Juno X and stuff like that, or their next boutique synth. That would be cool. But yeah, so those are some of the things I learned. Did you go to the Namm Show? If you've never been, what would you have liked to have seen? Let me know in the comments below. And my final ask for you, if you made it this far in the video, is to please sign up for my artist list. YouTube is a hard platform. Facebook, Instagram. You can make content to the cows come home, but unless your following is built large enough, they limit the exposure. Like I can have 100 followers, and if the algorithm doesn't like what I post, it only let 5 of my followers connect. So I'm asking you, if you're interested in my original music, which I have shown clips of on here, I'd like you to subscribe to my emailing list. I'm doing a push right that now for the next couple months to get it up to a certain amount. And if you're interested in hearing from me directly, dealing with my music, original music, and performances and gigs and things like that, I have a newsletter. I love to share with you my musical journey. If you want to learn about that, I write them myself. I don't have time to spam you, so you don't have to worry about me spamming you, but I definitely want to create an opportunity to invite you to come through and check that out. So those are the 5 things I learned at the Namm Show. I'll see you guys next video, and I hope you sign up for the Delio Music mailing list. I'm gone.